All right, so let me share my screen. We'll get started. We'll make this really informal, conversational. And if anybody has any questions, you let us know. I got to get my people back. Everybody just went away. Jenna, if I've lost everyone, there we go. This is so.
Everything looks good to me.
I know I had lost everybody on a different monitor. That's the disadvantage of having so many monitors. All right, cool. So you guys keep an eye on chat so we can watch for Tommy or Tracy if they have any questions. So we'll go through this quick informal. If you have questions, thoughts, comments, just blurt them out or type them in chat. This is not one of those official webinars. This is one where you guys are good customers, and we just want to make sure you understand this option. Talking today about anyone, apparently everybody here is using Agency Advantage desktop. So we also have the Agency Advantage hosted that's been going on for a long time. I don't think Tom Preston probably, we started at Jenesis doing the hosting for our Jenesis customers in 2006. I would imagine Tom was somewhere in the same time frame. So hosted's been around a long time. Right now, between Jenesis and Agency Advantage, the huge majority of our customers who are using those classic products versus Jenesis Now are hosted. Most are not desktop anymore. We don't care which one you are. Whatever makes you happy is fine with us. We just want you to have the information. So what we'll do is we'll talk about why people would move to hosted AA versus keeping it desktop, the benefits of being on hosted, how the transition works. We'll talk about the cost and all that as well, and then live Q&A with Andy and Eric. And that doesn't have to be at the end, like I said a minute ago. Chime in at any point you have questions. So the options for Agency Advantage users that are desktop either obviously stay using desktop. We're happy. We have no plans to ever make that not available. You're happy there, you stay there. We want you to be happy. We're still trying to make changes to the product and respond to requests when people have ideas and suggestions. And certainly any defects that get reported, fixing those right away. We have 0 documented defects right now. Not that there's not any, but if you know of any, let us know. We don't know of any. But your two options, other than staying with what you are doing now, is to either move to AA hosted, that we'll talk about today, or you can move to Jenesis Now. Most of you know what Jenesis Now is. It's our product that we started building at Jenesis 13 years ago. We still have a lot of Jenesis Classic people on Jenesis Classic. Some have moved to Jenesis Now. All new sales over the last 4 or 5 years have been in Jenesis Now. But we still have a lot of people on Jenesis Classic. And just like with AA Classic and AA Hosted, AA Desktop, we're happy for them to be there. But your options are to move to Hosted, stay where you are, or move to Jenesis Now. The advantage and the reason we wanted to do this webinar today is because moving your AA software to the hosted environment is really easy for you, because you're still using the same software you're using today. It still works. It's the same software. It's just in the cloud, and you still use it. You don't have to learn anything new at all. The disadvantage in you moving to Jenesis Now, there's 2 disadvantages. One, right now there's a waiting list because we do have people moving, and it takes a minute to move them. So we've got people kind of on a waiting list. But the other disadvantage in moving to Jenesis Now versus just moving to AA hosted is you've got to learn a new software, essentially. So you have to go through a little bit of training, and then those first few months, you're cussing a little bit here and there because this doesn't work like AA did and all that. But with AA hosted, 0 of that. Challenges with your local way of doing it, for those of you having Jenesis AA desktop, is, as you know, the equipment is expensive, so that pretty much goes away. 100% of everybody that's ever moved. By the way, I'm not aware of anybody since 2006 that has ever moved back. Anyone that's ever moved to hosted, no one's ever wanted to go back. But so they save the money. They don't have to buy servers, upgrade servers, deal with all that. Risk of hardware failure and data loss is reduced. It doesn't go away probably, but it greatly reduces because we're spending a lot more money on our equipment than most agencies are spending on their local hardware and their infrastructure. Um, another disadvantage is challenge with having it like you do is you're having to do your own update. So whenever AA has an update, which is quarterly, either you get behind and don't do the update, or you do it yourself, and that may be a pain, it may not be, or you get Andy or Eric to help you out. But with hosted, updates are done automatically for you. You're not having to mess with that. You go to bed on one version, you wake up the next day. It's not a new version really, but technically it is, and there's the improvements and changes are done for you. And with your local environment, unless you've set up something to remote into that, then you've got limited access. Can't work from anywhere. Why you would want to move to Agency Advantage hosted is probably just the reverse of everything I just said. It's less expensive. With as far as now we charge for it, and I will tell you all about that in a second because we have costs. We don't consider this a profit center, but we'll pass on those costs to you. But normally you save money. Automatic updates we already talked about. It's safe and secure daily backups. We're doing all the backups for you. And by the way, if you stay with AA Desktop and if you're not backing up every day off site, please get that going. If you're doing it, make sure it's working. And Andy and Eric will be glad to give you advice and thoughts and their opinions today or anytime about those backups. Make sure you're backing up because we've had situations where an agency owner would get the server stolen out of the building, where the hardware would just crash and they couldn't recover it, things like that. So make sure you're doing backups. If you're on hosted, we do all those backups for you. Easier to support for our team. So I would think Andy and Eric's experience, and we've talked to them about this, of the people who are on desktop AA and the people who are on hosted, they can support it easier and faster because they have access to the back end and everything here. They're not having to get you on the telephone, you show them the problem, walk things through, and deal with it like that. So it's a little easier for them to provide support and quicker support. And then we've already said too, you can access this hosting environment from anywhere that has the internet. I've already mentioned that with AA hosted versus AA desktop, it's the same software you're using today. So it's this, you don't have to learn anything new. It runs the same. So no retraining needed, more flexible, and less IT hassles. How the transition works. So what we do for the people who say, yeah, I'm going to do this, then we schedule a time after hours that we're going to do the migration. So we do it on our time, on our nickel. When I say our, I mean Andy and Eric's. Schedule the time after hours to do the migration, and they prep the environment for you. They set up this hosting environment for you, and then they move the data after hours. And then, so you close, let's say it's a Friday, you end up going home Friday, and then you come in Monday and you connect to a different link and it opens up. It looks just like where you were, but now it's in the cloud. So it's, for the most part, seamless. There's really no testing that needs to be done. People who move from AA or Genesis Classic to Genesis Now, there's a lot of testing involved because we have to do the data conversion. You have to verify it's right. No testing. Security and reliability. We back up daily. If you're not doing it, you need to. Secure host environment. No risk of server crashing, in your office at least. No risk of server theft or weather damage. We've had agencies, with hurricanes and so on over the years that multiple times that have had their whole office destroyed or flooded and data ruined. So that's why I say if you're going to stay with desktop and make sure your backups are not in the office. Don't do just a backup on a hard drive in the office. The backup needs to be somewhere else, and reliable access from anywhere. Support you can count on Andy and Eric from Agency Advantage support team. They manage this process. Everybody I've ever heard, I hope it's true with the three of you, trust and believe in Eric and Andy. They've been doing this a long time. They're kind of celebrities in their space. They manage this whole process for you. They answer the questions and do all the work. And this doesn't change who you call for support. You still go to Andy and Eric when you need help with this or that. And I'm going to stop sharing. If you will, Eric, I think I'll stop sharing. If you just want to show them what it would look like um, when they come in, you know, how they would sign in. You come off mute and talk that through.
Should have practiced how to share my screen here. Let's see. Share
You don't need
number
practice.
2. Let me move you guys over here.
Hey, Jenna, would you make sure to capture Tom, Tommy, and Tracy's? I like the fact Tracy changed her name. She didn't want us to be calling her info. Would you make sure to get their contact information to the extent that send them a gift after this meeting today?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys see my screen here?
Yes, sir.
All right, so can I move this toolbar? I can. All right, so when you log into AA, we have a website that we set up for you. In this case, it's this is server 8. We just like to call it AA Advantage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in this case, you will be provided with credentials. Usually begins with My AA Cloud, followed by your name, or it can be whatever you want, really, but we usually do your first name or first.last or anything like that. So and then we will also provide you with a password. Most of the time you can save it in here. Some people are a little bit more secure and they like to type all this manually, so it's up to you. But after you sign in, you're basically presented with options. There you go. Sorry, my internet's a little slow here. So basically, these are the same icons that you would normally have on your desktop, but they're just going to be in the web browser form. So we got your AA. I'll come back to this in a minute, but this is basically one way to upload documents. This will be your download manager. This is to log off the server, and then your WinAA utilities. So we'll start out with your AA first. So if you go ahead and just single click here, it's going to launch a remote connection to our server. That's basically all it is. You're remoting into our servers using your agency advantage that you normally do. And you will skip the login. I know you just saw like a brief moment there where it logged in, but it's going to tie into your account in AA. So most of the time you just need to log in once. But that is pretty much it. I mean, once it's running on your computer, you're basically doing the same exact thing as you normally do, with the exception of scanning, which I'll get to in a second here. But you're going to use it the exact same way, pull up customers, receipts, pretty much everything. As far as scanning, so because it's a remote desktop connection, you kind of lose that scanning functionality, that direct connect from your scanner. So in order to circumvent that, you can still use your scanner to scan documents to your computer, but they have to be done into a folder, which then uploads to Agency Advantage. And we usually set that folder up here on your computer, and then you can just drop some documents in here. I think I had already did that when I launched it. And that's where this document management comes in. So when you drop a file in there, it's going to pop up in here if I did it correctly. Yeah, it's probably not the best example, but if you drop a file or form or any kind of document in there that you scanned from your scanner, you'll just add it to your customer. It's kind of like the PDF printer if you guys have ever used it. And then you'll just post it like you normally do. By the way, the PDF printer will work the exact same way. That doesn't change. So if you're used to doing the PDF printer, it's going to upload just the exact same way. And it's going to show up like it normally does. I should probably give it a better name instead of test. But aside from that, you still can browse to your files, to your desktop and everything. We just might have to reroute it on the back end a little bit, but that option is still available for you. We just have to set up some different shortcuts to access like your desktop and whatnot. But this is on my desktop in a demo folder, but let's see, I'll give it a form. I'll name it something different there. And there you go. So that's basically that's really the only major change is the not being able to scan directly in because of the remote session. But there are ways around that and different things that you can do to upload documents, like I said, including a PDF printer, uploading through this copy process that gets done behind the scenes, and then still browsing to your local computer and whatnot. And then the rest of the buttons here, you got your download manager, which if you do downloads, you're already used to. By the way, the downloads are done for you on the server too. I don't think that was mentioned in the slides, but we have a task that goes out, checks those downloads for you. And by the time you come in here and log in, those downloads are already set up for you and you don't even have to do the check mailbox. And then your WinAA utilities, same thing. If you ever do that, this is where you merge your customers, your reindex if you actually do it. Most of the time you guys call us, but you got your WinAA utilities here, and then this is just a log off. It's kind of like your reboot. It'll close out your session and anything you do with your login information in case you get stuck or anything like that. But that is pretty much it. I don't know if anybody had any questions.
Yeah, any questions for Eric?
Are we gonna move on to where we have like we do Turbo Raider, we sell the policy and we import it over to Agency Advantage, the customer?
Basically, this is going to be the exact same way it's set up. So if you're doing Turbo Raider right now, it's going to work the same exact way. As far as any future features, that'll probably have to be a different discussion. But the Turbo Raider and any way that you normally import quotes into Agency Advantage, that's going to continue working the same way.
Okay.
Is that your question, Stephen? That
Yeah, pretty much. But I do see that on your download manager, of course, is for Ivans. What about the team up?
So team up all we have to do is change the directory of where the files go. I think right now it's just in the plain AA user folder, but we just change it like one level down into the another folder that we monitor. So when you open up your download manager, it basically sucks up those files from your computer, and then they'll end up here like they usually do.
Okay. And all that would be on my local machine, correct?
Correct. Yeah, just the team up part because that's their own setup. Whereas Ivan's, we set it up directly on the server and everything. I guess in theory it could be done, but it'll work a little bit different. That's why we decided to keep it local on your computer.
Stephen, who are you using? What carrier are you downloading with Team Up?
Just Assurance America. They're the only ones that are on Team Up.
Do they not offer Ivans?
I had a buddy that checked on that, and I haven't heard back. I haven't heard him say, but I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I mean, it would certainly be nice because, like I said, they're the only ones that do Team Up. I mean, I had some other carriers that did Team Up, and unfortunately, they're no longer doing business. So, right now, the only one left is Assurance America on Team Up.
We had a few, 10 or 15 years ago, maybe longer, that were doing Team Up, and it seems like that kind of went by the wayside a number of years ago. And by the way, I wish there were several good download vendors that a lot of carriers use. They'd be healthier for our industry than Ivan's being the only one. But Jenna or anybody else on the call, I'm not aware of. Are we with Genesis Classic or Genesis Now? Are we doing anything with Team Up? I haven't even heard that brought up in a while.
I have not heard that brought up in quite some time.
Okay, just curious.
So I would think that if it was a request, that it'd actually be a perfect question for Lisa Gibson, I would think, but
okay.
I'm not aware of anything.
Anyway, yeah, Stephen, it may be worth whoever your rep is with Assurance America. You may want to just confirm.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've got a buddy that just checked on it because he changed over to Azure, and I think if I remember correctly, I think he said that they don't do Ivans.
Yeah. Okay. Progressive for years didn't do Ivans, and then when they started, they charged the agent, and then recently I think they stopped charging, so that's good. Yeah, good questions. Anybody else have any questions? Jade, I know you got here just a touch late, so you missed some of it, but glad you're here. Tracy, Tom or Tommy, any questions from you guys? No questions. All right. I'm going to take presenter back, Eric,
Mhm.
and then let's talk about the price, the cost for this. So what we charge in order, if you wanted to move your environment to our cloud, then we charge a one-time $550 fee to build your environment and move your data. That's done over a weekend, like we said earlier. That's a one-time thing. And then your monthly cost would be $20 more per user than what you're paying now. And that is our cost. We make zero. This is not a thing to make more money for us. That's why we don't care which one you do. You can stay where you are if you like that. I did mention earlier, like for Jade or anyone that didn't hear, we've been doing this for 19 years. AA has, Genesis has this hosted thing. We've never had anyone move to hosted and go back. 100% of the people that have ever moved stayed with hosted. So I only say that to you to let you know it's probably the better of the two options. And if anyone ever moved and wanted to go back, not a problem. We can do that.
Yeah, and I just want to stress too, like how important it is that, the data loss potential. If you guys aren't backing up, you really, really, really should be. If that machine that you're currently hosting your data on just crashed or died today, what would, do you have a backup plan? What will make you be able to do your job tomorrow? And that's something I think everybody should just think about in general. Obviously, if you move to hosted, it's taken care of. But if you don't want to move, if you don't want to do this, I just really encourage you to think about that backup option and make sure that you have somewhere offsite that your data is being stored as well.
Yep, good point. All right.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie. My biggest concern is the $550 one-time fee. I think that's a little steep. I mean, I've been a customer for 30 years with Agency Advantage, and you know, that's just, I mean,
Yeah.
y'all know how things are right now. I mean, things are not great on the agency side.
Yeah. Well, here's what
I mean, I would love to jump on board, but I would like a little bit of flexibility on that 550 one-time fee.
I appreciate you sharing that, Stephen. That's what we've charged for many, many years. No, nothing real formula about it. If anyone on this call wants to try this, and you're on this call, we're not going to say this to everybody. We'll cut it in half. Does that help?
That would be much more attractive.
I just
Absolutely.
want you to know this is not really about money. It's really whatever I want, whatever you guys need.
Yeah.
So we'll cut that in half. Anybody that's on this call, and I'll tell you another thing. Anybody on this call that if you did it and you wanted to undo it, we'll give you money back and move you back. Can't beat that, can you?
I would like to think I wouldn't want to undo it.
Well, I feel pretty safe that you wouldn't, like I said, because we've never
Yeah,
had
because I mean,
anybody.
my server's about 10 years old now, and when I speak with my IT guy, so what's the next move? He said cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in the same boat that Craig was
Yeah.
with budget. So,
Yeah.
it makes sense that server is so old. It's time for you to move.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and I had a scare not about a year ago, and it wound up not being anything serious with the server. It just kind of got hung up. But definitely a scare, and yeah, and I mean, I think I'm playing Russian roulette with my server right now, and I do have a backup, but nobody wants to trust a backup.
Yeah, and they're hard to test. I mean, most of us don't get around to actually testing them. That's not easy either to make sure that the data backup is working well, that it would work if you needed to
Yeah,
use it.
exactly.
Okay. So
Yeah, in your situation, I think is the number one thing that I'm concerned with, where you have a server now and it's 10 years old and it realistically, it could go anytime. That hang up that you had last year, that could be a permanent thing at any point in time. And that's what worries me, for you guys, is those situations where you might go down, and even if you have a backup somewhere, you're still going to be down for a little bit. So I just, I really stress in that, how important it is for you guys to, maintain that uptime. You'll just, as long as, there's almost no chance that this hosted environment will ever go down. It's built on Microsoft Azure.
Well, that's
Just
what I
so,
was gonna say. Where's y'all's
yep,
quote unquote servers at, and y'all
it's,
are going through Azure?
yep, correct. So
Gotcha.
I mean, can't guarantee 100%, but their uptime ratio is 99.9% uptime.
Well,
Yeah.
I did see where they were down.
Yeah, just
They
recently.
were last week. They did
And
actually
but it
have,
and I was asking the guys, did we have any issues? We had zero issues, right? So it wasn't everything down.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And getting back to you, Andy, Craig is one of my friends, and when I saw that, I texted him that, wanted to know if he was down, and he came back and said that their end was working fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have anybody report. We were wondering, but didn't hear from anybody, didn't
Yeah,
have any issues that we were aware of.
cool.
Hey, guys, Tracy wanted to know what is the lag time for scanning documents, et cetera, that kind of thing. What are lag times? What are speed expectations?
So
Yeah,
that,
so is oh, go ahead, Andy.
well, like you're probably going to say the same thing, but that's dependent on the quality of the internet connection. So as long as you have a good connection with not a lot of latency, you may see a slight difference in the amount of time that the attachments take to load, but it's not going to be anything that becomes frustrating for the end user.
Yeah,
yeah,
keep in mind that those files are still coming from your computer, so you still have to think about that these files are being uploaded over the internet. So, if you got a slower connection and you're uploading hundreds of files, there might be a little bit of a delay there, but so we're kind of at the mercy of your internet as well. But most people scan a handful of documents and it uploads it. It's not too much of a delay, but again, it is going to be dependent on your internet connection as well.
we don't get complaints for it, if that helps too, to give some insight. It's, I think it's almost inconsequential time. It's, yes, it's a few seconds here and there, but it's never something that takes, unless your internet's real bad, it's never something that takes, a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, but we want instant.
It's real. It's close. It's close. As long as your internet's good, it is almost,
It's pretty instant.
unless you're doing like Eric said, if you're doing a stack of hundreds, yes, it's going to take a little more time to process them. But if you're doing a couple, it's pretty much, a second or two.
And
Yeah,
It's not.
we're not that busy. We're not going to be doing 100 at a time. I can assure you that.
Yeah.
So, hey, Jay, I know, did any questions from you? I know you got here a touch after we kind of went through some of the original stuff. I don't want you to miss out on any questions you might have had, and I don't know what all you really missed. We just basically said, you see the cost here, and we just said, moving to hosted for AA, you're using the same software, so you don't have to learn anything new. You could move to Genesis now, but there's a waiting list, and you got to learn the new software. Probably something we think most people will want to do one of these days, but this is not really talking about that. Any questions about the hosted idea?
I did have difficulty getting logged in. I think something was not right on my machine. Sorry I was delayed, but I would say that process of doing daily downloads from the various carriers, does this alleviate us having to do that each day or no?
No, it's still going to be the same process. The only difference here is that you'll just be connecting differently. You're basically connecting into our servers to do those downloads. So the way you're doing everything right now is going to be the same. You're still going to open up the download manager. You still have to manually process whatever downloads you get on a daily basis. So that's still going to be the same.
So there's not a process function program that actually does the downloads automatically.
Not in AA. That would be a Genesis Now benefit. So maybe Eddie can talk to you about that. But yeah, the point of this conversation is just basically going hosted and being able to do this same exact thing you're doing right now, but remotely.
So, Eric,
Gotcha.
what were you saying, Eric, earlier though about something was different about downloads with hosted? You said.
You're
Oh,
gonna have to
this is
check
just
mailbox.
the check mailbox. Yeah, the act of actually pulling the downloads from Ivan's. There's a task that goes out. So if you got, however many downloads for Ivan's, it pulls them down. It's just basically removing one step from the process, but they still have to go in, open the download, process them as usual.
And how does that compare to Genesis Now? Because I know at Genesis Now, it downloads automatically every like 10 minutes or something. So it's 24/7. It's anything that's being updated at the carrier gets pushed into the system, and it automatically comes in if it matches, if it knows where to go. That's my understanding.
Correct.
And are you saying with AA, are you having to make a decision about all the download files?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Genesis Now is a lot more automated, and pretty much once you set it up, it's kind of set it and forget it for the most part, anyways.
Okay. So Jade, have you seen Genesis Now yet?
I have not.
Okay. And I said this at the beginning of the webinar. Um, I feel like you guys are just long-time good customers, so we're not here to sell you anything. If you're happy where you are with the product you have, we do want to keep the relationship with you for a long, long time, and it's already been a long, long time. But if you find benefit, like kind of Stephen had some examples of why he might find benefit moving to hosted, then that's cool too. We want that to happen for you. And we there is a waiting list right now for Genesis Now, but if you want to take a look at that, we had Jenna on the call that she could kind of let her know that her team could demonstrate that for anyone who wants to see it. So if you've not seen it, you probably should see it.
I would like to.
Then you can make an educated decision to either consider that now or sometime in the future. But apparently, to your downloads question, it is far more automated.
Okay.
I'll reach out to you. I can reach out to you separately, Jade, and we
That,
can get something on the calendar
that
if
would
you'd
be
like
great.
that.
Cool.
My reasoning for not the Genesis software is merely the accounting aspect of it that I've got with the Agency Advantage, such as my deposit listing that we pull next morning that shows all of our transact receipts and all that, and then we go into our EFT processing in order to reconcile all of it, and then of course our check register in order to reconcile our escrow account.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Genesis doesn't have any of those features, and I don't know how I can't wrap my head around how I keep up with business if I don't have if I can't reconcile the day before.
Yeah.
If, can I speak to that?
Yes.
You can.
Okay. I didn't want to interrupt anyone else that may be trying to jump in. I think based on what you just mentioned, you probably would benefit still from taking a look at Genesis Now, at
Oh,
least
really?
hopping on. Yeah, because there's nothing that you mentioned. Now, I know that Agency Advantage and any of the support guys, Eddie, correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I don't know Agency Advantage like I know Genesis. I think there is a chance it is a bit more robust from an accounting perspective compared to Genesis Now. However, there's nothing that you mentioned at the moment that you can't currently also do in Genesis Now.
Yeah, well,
So,
those are my three animals when it comes
mhm,
to the accounting is the check register, the deposit listing, and the EFT processing, and that's it. I mean, you've got other things in here that I don't even use, but yeah, if you say that those three right there are kind of covered by the Genesis, then yeah, I would definitely be interested in seeing what's up with it.
Yeah, so it's worth. I agree with Jenna. It's at least worth taking a look. And one reason it's worth taking a look, Stephen, is if you get on a call with Jenna or somebody on her team, then they'll show you how it works, and you might say, "But how do you do this?" And they might say, "Oh, you can't do that." But then that's a good opportunity for them to document that request and
Gotcha,
put a ticket in, and that's how we, move forward and make progress.
gotcha.
Because, yeah, I've never regretted taking time to learn something. So if you just sit through a 30-minute or 45-minute demo, it's probably worth your time.
Okay.
And Steven, I'll be honest, there's people it doesn't work for. Whether it be people from Classic or people from AA, it doesn't work for everyone. It's not as robust in certain things. Most things it's way better. It's miles ahead of Classic or Agency Advantage, but there's some stuff that it's not. So like writing commercial lines, for instance, Genesis Classic is way better than Genesis Now still. We're improving it all the time and always working on it. But for some people, it's not a great fit. And that's, why we want to show you hosted as well for Agency Advantage. So you kind of have, everything laid out of what your options are with still being able to get away from having to manage server costs.
Well, is the Genesis Classic a different product from the Genesis Now?
It is.
But it's
But
kind
the
of
Genesis
I don't
Now,
I don't recommend going to Genesis Classic.
yeah, it's more
I
equal
don't.
because it's more equal to what
No,
you've
it's a
got
great
now.
product, but yeah, it's gonna be moving to the same thing
It'd be
essentially.
well,
moving
I
to
mean,
the
I,
same.
I would, if we could do the, the accounting issues that are important to me, then yeah, I would definitely entertain the Genesis. But if not, then I'm definitely I'm not on this I'm on this webinar for a reason. And the reason is my server's not getting any, it's like me, it's not getting any younger. So
I know the
I need
feeling.
to probably do something before it's too late.
Are you still talking about your server, or now you're talking about you?
Well, I try to stay healthy, so there you go. I try to eat right and exercise. How about that?
Yeah, we do too. Same thing. Uh,
Absolutely.
okay. All right, Jade. Any more questions? I know you had that one.
We got Tracy in chat with I'm sold and ready to get on the list to move forward.
All right, good.
Awesome, Tracy.
All right,
There
Good to
you go.
hear.
Mr. McKinney. I was calling him a she a minute ago. Anything else, Jade?
I'm good.
Okay. And
Hey, I got
Tom?
one other thing. You said you would do, half price on the one-time fee.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm wanting to see your Genesis now. So, I mean, is that going to still hold true that after I see the Genesis now, and let's say I decide I want to go with the AA, is it still going to be the half price on the one-time fee?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I
I
like
appreciate that.
I like common sense business dealings,
There you go.
not trickery and deceit and
There you go.
only today. I think Jenna, depending on your schedule, she's got a couple people that in her department they can show you this Genesis now this week, and I'd still think probably this week be kind of moving forward with one or the other. Um, and I think there's a 70% chance that you're going to have feedback on Genesis now and not be ready to move right now. We'll see. I'm not 100%. Like I'm not.
What if I went with the AA now and 6 months down the road, I'm convinced that Genesis now. I mean, am I going? Is it going to be another data move or?
Oh, it's definitely another data move. But um, yeah, it's another data move. But
Okay.
here's what I'll tell you, Stephen. Say, hey, I talked to Eddie and he said he'd give me half price on the one deal. Can you give me half price on the other deal too? And I'll tell you,
There you go.
we normally do what our customers want us to do.
Well, that sounds good. Hey, and Jenna, are you the lady that kind of intervenes on my SEO?
I am not. That would
Okay.
not be me, no.
Who, who,
Um,
who is that?
who would that be, Eddie? Does a Chardonnay ring a bell? A
Is it
Colleen?
Chardonnay or Gabby or
Gabby?
Well, Gabby's the one that does the actual work, but I've had some Julie.
Oh,
there's a Julie that she's a graphic artist, graphic designer.
Well,
Um,
I just know I've had somebody reach out to me from Genesis about how satisfied I am with the SEO.
oh, would that have been my wife, Lisa?
To be honest with you, I don't know, but possibly,
Yeah. How
possibly.
satisfied are you?
Well, I'm satisfied to an extent, but I've got uh, I used to do business back in the day with Habu, and my rep from my Habu has reached out with another product, and then he sent me over. Uh, uh, I don't I don't know lack of a better words like a stress test just to see where I stand with all these listings and whatnot, and I seem to have errors on some of them, and And of course he's going to put, oh, they should have had that. That should be part of your SEO. That
Yeah.
if you don't have that right, then that's the foundation of your SEO. And of course he's trying to sell me his product.
Yeah.
And and I wish I had in front of me what that is that they were pushing.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jenna. I think, and I would love to be involved. I think we need to get somebody, Celine Chardonnay, somebody, and we need to schedule a meeting with Stephen just about this. I'm interested in that.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've got that report, so I can forward it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm happy with y'all, and I'm definitely happy with the price.
Yeah.
But this new quote unquote thing is a uh, I think I wish I had my
Is it
notes in front of me, and I don't.
directory listings, or anything like that?
No. I'm talking about as far as the SEO side that they put a after the .com on my URL, they put a ttnl or something .txt, something supposed to be for the AI to be able to not have to crawl your whole site to kind of get the information that is being requested.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Send that over to us, and we've got an SEO guy on staff, Ronell. Jenna, we might want to have him there too. I think this would be fun to kind of meet with Stephen,
yeah,
because I want to think this through
because this is
too.
supposed to be quote unquote newfangled way to go
Yeah.
with SEO, that SEO is becoming,
It's changing.
there you go. Yeah, that now everything is AI, and
Yeah.
so this new little thing that approach to SEO is supposed to be helping with the AI bots to be able to they don't have to crawl your whole site or whatever. It
Yeah.
goes directly to
Well,
where it needs to go.
we've got a lot of new stuff we've introduced this year that I think it'd be fun to kind of show you a couple things too. This and some more things. So Jenna, can you kind of make sure that happens? Okay. And Jenna, I don't know if you see Tracy, sold, ready to move forward.
Yeah, I got
So
that.
you got that with Tracy.
Good.
All right, cool.
Yep.
All right. Tommy, do you have any questions? Tommy's been the quiet one in the room.
Just an idea, Jenna. When can I expect to be looking at the Genesis now?
I am sending you over an email right now.
And I can do it immediately?
Uh, Probably not today,
Okay. Well,
but
what I'm asking,
unless,
I'm assuming I can't do it on my own. I need to be.
oh, no. Yeah, it's a live demo with a sales
Okay.
representative, and they'll walk you, show you the product, talk with you
Okay.
about the differences between the two. But what I'm doing, and Jade, this goes for you too, by the way, Jade, you should already have received your email. But there's a link. I'm including a link to a calendar. So you guys will click on that link and choose the day and time that works best for you. And
Sounds
that's going to
good.
connect you with someone on the sales team. And I've already made notes in your profiles on our end, so they'll know when you guys get on the demo why you're there. You're on
Okay.
AA, possibly looking at hosted, interested in Genesis now, the whole conversation that we've had here. But you can kind of also give them a 30-second spiel too of what you're wanting to see. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, sounds good.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah, and I definitely would like to set up something about the SEO, Eddie, as well
Yeah.
to see if we can't figure out what he's trying to sell me, and I mean if it's something I'm sure it's something y'all can probably do as well.
Yep. Probably. If not, we'll recommend you go, check out what he's doing. So whatever
Eddie,
Jenna.
we got,
Yes.
sorry, I just want to, Tom Pugh has sent you a couple messages directly that might be questions for today.
Basically, Eddie, you can go up to your chat
Mhm.
and you'll see when messages are directed just to everyone or just
Okay.
to you. You should be able to differentiate between the two. Do
Cool.
you see
Thank you,
that?
Tom. Does Genesis now online have same scanning process as Agency Advantage? It's I'll let you guys, Andy or Eric, speak to that. It should be more seamless than Agency Advantage, right? The Genesis now scanning.
Correct. Yeah. With Genesis Now, you can actually continue to scan like you usually do. There's actually an applet or something that opens up that allows you to scan directly into Genesis Now versus AA and this upload documents type of mechanism. So,
and Jenna, also Tom would like to also get a Genesis Now demo, is what I'm understanding. Because he wants to kind of do like Stephen is saying, is he wants to understand the two options, and then he wants to do something this year. And this year is closing out, kids. It's happening fast.
Santa Claus will be here before we know it.
He will be. Every year gets faster than the one before it. Cool. Thank you, Tom. Let us know if you have anything else there. And Jenna, don't forget the 4 people that are on here, send them a gift for their time here, whether it's an Agency Advantage t-shirt or something.
Okay. I'm counting on the fact I can find took everyone's name down. Obviously I've found Stephen. Do you go by Steve or Stephen?
I prefer Stephen, but I answer to either one.
Okay. I think we have you listed as Steve over here on our end, but I'll
that's
make that adjustment.
It doesn't offend me.
I think I should be able to find everyone.
Okay.
So should be.
Anything else from everyone here?
I think I'm good.
I appreciate you guys being here. I hope this has been a good use of your time. We really, really appreciate you as customers, as partners. We're honored to get to provide you a service, and we work hard to try to do the best we can so you're happy, and we appreciate all of you.
Appreciate you guys.
Don't have anything else. So, and I appreciate Andy and Eric. They get, Jason, just tell these people on the call what kind of scores, literal scores. What's the average score, the support score that Andy and Eric could get from our customers over the last number of years?
10.
For the last 6 months, it has been a solid 10. Before that, for the preceding few years, we were riding a 9.9 for the last couple of years, and then we finally broke through 6 months ago into the 10 range, which is awesome. And that's not just for the Agency Advantage either. Just to let you guys know, that's for all of our support products in general. So support on Genesis Now, Genesis Classic. We have a fantastic team of guys. And if anyone's concerned about moving to Genesis Now and kind of having not the same level of support, Eric and Andy are available to you for Genesis Now help as well. So that nothing like that would change either, if that's a concern that anyone has.
Yeah, both Andy and Eric have over 4 years of exposure to Genesis Now at this point. So they would know more than you for sure. That's the way I always look at it. You know more than the new user does. All right.
There you go.
All right. Thank y'all very much. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And let me know if I can ever help with anything.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
Same goes for me as well.
All right. Y'all have a blessed
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thank y'all.
All right. Take care.
Enjoy your day.
I haven't left yet, but I thought that was good.
Yeah. I think it went pretty well. Tracy McKinney, that's a good one right there. They're pretty easy to support.